We're less than 24 hours away from the start of the 2023 NFL Draft. Finally. So final mock drafts are getting out of the way, and what's really great is this time of year BS season ramps up, but I always respect guys who are very connected to the industry. Daniel Jeremiah, former NFL scout, his name even gets brought up a couple times when GM openings are out there, although Mike Mayock may have ruined that. I mean, Matt Millen should have ruined it, but maybe Mike Mayock completely destroyed it. But Daniel Jeremiah, again, mock drafts are about what they hear, about what teams' interests and intentions are. Big boards are what they see with the players. So diving into his mock draft 4.0, and the Vikings get some interesting things going on. Number 1, Bryce Young. Number 2, Texans taking CJ Stroud. But he has a low S2 score. Don't care. Yeah, S2 score means that he's going to be in the number 2 overall pick. And then let's get spicy. So the Texans decide to double dip 2 and 3 because they do have the number 12 picks and an excessive amount of draft capital from the Deshaun Watson trade. So they move up to 3, secure the number 1 edge rusher. So they get CJ Stroud, the quarterback of the future, and Will Anderson on defense. It's a win-win-win no matter what. Kind of love it, man. 4, Colts stay put, stick and pick. They have a choice between Levis and Richardson. They go Will Levis. He looks good in blue and white. Indianapolis gets their quarterback of the future. 5, Jalen Carter. It seems like the worst kept secret that the Seahawks are in on Jalen Carter. So there you go. 6, Spoon goes to the Lions. I hate it. I hate it with the passion of 1,000 suns. That doesn't make any sense. 7, Raiders take Gonzo. Now remember, Anthony Richardson is still on board. Just chilling. 8, Bajan. So the Falcons, they like running the football. Tyler Algier is a stud. Cordero they use as a running back too, but Bajan, he could be a game changer at the running back and could be Desmond Ritter's best friend. 9, the Bears. Somehow Tyree Wilson falls to them, which is kind of redonkulous, but given his size, given his potential, I sort of like that fit in Chicago. Now, where does he fit in Eberflus's defense? TBD. I mean, do they put his hand in the dirt? Do they put him as a stand-up strong side linebacker? Who knows? Who knows? But also, they'll screw it up, so who cares? 10, the Eagles taking Nolan Smith, edge rusher from Georgia, huh? Again, physical tools, not worried about the torn pec. Love the intangibles, and him being added to the front 7 makes a lot of sense. 11, a little bit spicy. Zay Flowers is wide receiver 1 off of the board. The big-time playmaker from BC, going to the Tennessee Titans. Now, interesting that the Titans, they're done on Tannehill. They're clearly done on Malik Willis too, and they pass on Richardson, and they make Zay Flowers the number 1 receiver. But I mean, Zay with Treylon Burks, it's a pretty good duo, man. 12, Paris Johnson Jr. is off the board. Now, there's speculation that the Cardinals are enamored with Johnson. They could take him at 3, but trading down, getting assets, and still getting Paris Johnson Jr., that'd be a hell of a get for them. Hey, maybe they can actually protect Kyler for once. Crazy. The Packers, so they have their choice of pass catchers not named Zay, but they go with Dalton Kincaid, super smooth tight end. They could have gone JSN in this spot, and I wouldn't have been mad at them, but 14, Patriots taking Lucas Van Ness. Van Ness actually reminds me a little bit of Richard Seymour. When he was coming out of Georgia, was fantastic with the Patriots, won Super Bowls, Hall of Famer, all that stuff. And Van Ness, I mean, putting him in that 5-tech spot, let's go, man. 15, Skoronski goes to the Jets. So, again, the Jets are fantastic at getting these tackles that kick inside the guard and kick ass. And they could actually, they could have the best guard duo in the league in front of Aaron Rodgers, where they have Skoronski and AVT. I like that a lot. 16, spicy. So Emmanuel Forbes is cornerback 3 off the board. He's going to the Commies, which is super interesting. And I mean, Forbes, the ball hawk, and as DJ says, they play a lot of zone with Del Rio and the Commies. So, sure, but man, also Daniel Jeremiah is very dialed in. So all of these players that are going higher or lower than consensus, super interesting. 17, Broderick Jones tackled his Steelers. Yes, all sense of the world. 18, the Lions. Kalijah Kancey's off the board. Ow, it hurts. So the Lions get Spoon and they get Kancey. That's going to flip around that defense real quick. 19, the Bucks getting Jackson Smith and Jigba. Now, if JSN or Richardson starts getting to the late teens, I think the Vikings should move up and go get one of them. Absolutely. But JSN going to the Bucks. I mean, Baker needs weapons, I guess. And Richardson. But JSN putting him in the slot and having Evans and Godwin on the outside. I mean, that's a hell of a trio, man. Richardson goes to the Seahawks, where, I mean, Seattle should have considered him at 5, but the fact that they get him at 20, It's fantastic. And he could sit behind Geno for a year or two, go from there. Michael Mayer goes to Chargers. Deontay Banks goes to the Ravens. So, I mean, the Vikings have their choice. They do have the choice of all the receivers except for two. They have Joey Porter Jr. is on the board. Brian Branch is still on the board. But they go with Jordan Addison, absolute stud in Pitt 2021, Blitnikoff Award winner. Very solid last year at USC. I think his role in the league is going to be a lot closer to what he played at Pitt, which is nearly exclusively in the slot. And him and Justin Jefferson, long time, would be a hell of a duo. JPJ goes to the Jaguars. I actually really like that. Brian Branch goes to the Giants. So two of my draft crushes, Joey Porter Jr., Brian Branch, all bunched up right behind the Vikings. Luke Musgrave and his mustache out of Oregon State goes to the Cowboys. Quentin Johnston goes to the Bills, teaming up with Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis. Keanu Benton, surprising in the first round, going to anchor that Bengals defense. Miles Murphy helping replace Marcus Davenport on the edge. Now, they could go Hendon Hooker. Yeah, could make sense. Did you see that Collinsworth mocked Hendon Hooker to the Chiefs at 31? I don't know. That's when you know that you've had enough mock draft season that we're done here. But Jahmyr Gibbs sneaks into the first round at 30 with the Eagles. I actually like that a lot, especially given his pass catching ability. And then Darnell Wright goes to the Kansas City Chiefs. They could use some help replenishing the offensive line. So overall, I'm pretty intrigued. I am pretty intrigued by what the Vikings did here, where this could be a clear trade down spot. I know there was one major trade in here with the Cardinals and the Texans, but the Vikings at 23, perfectly fine taking Addison, perfectly fine taking Porter, perfectly fine taking Branch. If they can move down a couple spots, still get their guy, sure, but don't chance it. Vikings get a long-term Robin to Jefferson's Batman, and I love it, man. It's fantastic. But your thoughts are thoughts. Taking a look at the last mock draft from Daniel Jeremiah. Finally, the draft is here. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.